So I wonder how often we're going to see these two in comparison to how often we saw Scanny and Knee Socks in season 1 after their debut. Hey everyone, welcome to Princess of Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with my blind reaction to New Panty and Stocking episode 7. And last time we met Polyester and Polyurethane, the twin angel brothers who are cousins to Panty and Stocking. And they are as Gen Z as it gets with their lingo, their attitudes, and that's just really funny to me. But they're also more of brown nosers, it seems. They like to follow the rules, and it's clear that they're doing so to try and like make themselves look better. They want to kiss ass to the higher ups in heaven. However, it seems like their father wasn't entirely on their side, but it seems like Panty and Stocking's father might be. So the reason they were coming down and trying to replace Panty and Stocking and everything, I guess they're working with Panty and Stocking's father, which is very interesting and could lead to some interesting dynamics and revelations going forward, especially in regards to just this entire family unit and its issues. Maybe we could even have like some kind of like family civil war between them. That would be really interesting. Like Panty and Stocking working with their father while they're working with, Panty and Stocking's father. That would be interesting. Of course, Panty and Stocking also have Scanny and Knee Socks on their side somehow, but, it's going to be definitely very, very interesting to see how this all goes down. I would like them to go into a lot more of the lore, honestly, of like heaven and hell and stuff like that, because they've dabbled in it, but I would really like to see them like really delve into that. I know this is a satirical comedy series, so it's probably not the first thing on their mind, but going into some heavy lore could still be cool. And just because it's a satire doesn't mean it can't have like, serious lore focused moments too. That could still happen. I mean, like look at Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. That's a satire, and yet that also has some very serious moments in it. Some very like intense moments even. And so it's like satires can delve into that kind of stuff too. They don't have to be like nonstop jokes. But we'll see what happens. So, yeah, I, as always, have no idea what to expect going into this episode. It's just a matter of, like, I haven't heard anything because I'm avoiding any and all spoilers, so I haven't heard anybody talking about, like, what happens in this episode, so don't know what we're getting into, but hopefully it ends up being really good. Last episode was like fantastic. I'm not expecting necessarily anything on that level of last episode, because last episode was the introduction of the Poly Bros, and I don't think we're gonna like continue off of that level of quality right away, but I might be surprised. So let's get into it and hope for the best. Hold up just a sec. Before you click that link down in the description below to get to today's video, I want to remind you of all the awesome content we have both on this channel and the Princess of Gaming channel. Let's check it out. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So we're back down to 2 segments again instead of just 3 or 4 shorter ones. And honestly, I think I prefer that. Like, there were some episodes there prior to last one, obviously, which was a single segment. But there were some episodes there where we were doing like 3, 4 segments per episode, and it's just like, it felt a little like overstuffed. Like, they were shorter and everything, but we don't need that many segments per episode. I have a feeling it was probably done because, like, the series didn't get, like, too much of an episode order. It's only a single core. So I assume that because of that, they wanted to try and stuff in some more ideas and just shorten them up, but it just... it felt like a little too much. I like this 2 segments better. So, our first segment here is Independence Dick. And we have the Boys' Day out, basically. Garterbelt, Chuck, and Brief are sick of being, kind of mistreated and used without any kind of respect or, like, fair treatment from Panty, Stocking, Knee Socks, and Scanty. And so they decide to take a day off. And Garterbelt comes up with the idea of, like, well, Garterbelt brings up the idea, and then Brief says, yeah, let's do that, about following his dream of going to Casino City and just, spending a day there. And so they head out on the road, but are quickly interrupted by the arrival of Polyester and Polyurethane, who return after just one episode. It's like, I really didn't expect them to be back so soon, but here they are. And because it's their day off, they decide to basically join our guys on this road trip. And they become friends. They actually become close. They form a bond. And that's pretty much what the majority of this episode is. Just, the guys being guys kind of thing. They're just dorking around, being friends, and we actually see that, like, they're pretty good at, like, mechanics and stuff, surprisingly. But they eventually make it to Casino City and are trying to gamble because Garterbelt needs money to go to his strip show that he wants to go to. And that's when a kaiju amalgamation appears. It's obviously a ghost, but it's like an amalgamation of, like, I don't know, 5, 6 different kaiju. And it's at this point that Panty and Stocking and Knee Socks and Scanty back home end up seeing what's going on the TV. And so Panty and Stocking come to not save the day, but get to their guys and get them back because they've been missing all day. And in the end, while they think they're going to be able to take down the kaiju, they're not able to, but Polyester and Polyurethane, who come off of their break, get back to work and take it out just like that. And in the end, they basically choose to separate work and free time. And so it's like, oh, we could be friends on free time, but we're on work time now, so bye. Basically. This was fun. Just a little segment focusing on the guys and everything and getting to showcase more of Polyester and Polyurethane while also showing that they actually do have more to them. That they actually do have, like, some interesting life skills and are actually, off the clock, not too bad. I definitely think it's gonna go into a similar direction as it did with Scanty and Knee Socks, where they might be reformed too. Excuse me. Reformed is a strong word, but you know what I mean. I guess we'll have to see. Maybe it won't do that. Maybe it'll end up like pulling the wool out from under us, but we'll see. The second of these two segments, though, is the longest bitch, I think it was called. Obviously based off the longest yard. Panty and Stocking are arrested. They end up going to prison where they find that Scanny and knee socks are already there. And while in prison, they end up hearing about this football game where it's like if you win, you get acquitted, which is entirely illegal. That's not how that works. But whatever. However, at night, we see that Panty is tempted by who we think is the warden, saying, oh, if you throw the game, if you purposefully help your team lose, you can have any of these guards' dicks. You can, like, fuck all you want. And we know Panty is a massive slut. So, yeah, it's something that she obviously would struggle with. And I say that, by the way, with love. I'm not trying to slut shame. She's very self-admittedly a slut. She is down bad for the dick. But we see them like trying to build up this team, and the teammates that they have, I guess the few girls to focus on in this are, you know, terrible and stupid. And just, you know, not going to be very helpful. But they need two more players, and so they go to Scanny and Knee Socks. And basically, like, go about with, oh, you could join us, you can come out, but they start a fight, and then they're like, okay, you know what, fuck it, whatever, you guys are useless. But, you know, they come back, and Scanny and Knee Socks join in. And so they form the team. But because they're tempted, the next day at the football game, like, we see Panty struggling with the choice, which, you know, she actually is struggling with it. But she does end up starting to throw it because, you know, she's a horny slut. And she wants dick. But it's soon revealed that all of them have been agreeing to throw it because they've all been tempted with something. And so, realizing this and seeing the ghost eventually reveal himself, being the entire prison as a whole, they decide to just like work together. And because the prison ghost kind of thrives off of their bitchiness, they basically do the most unbitch-like behavior possible to win the game. They work together, they don't stomp on ants, they, you know, go towards the goal, because for some reason going towards the goal is unbitch-like behavior. But it eventually works, and without even needing to fight or anything, the ghost just blows up. Because it's like, oh, just if his bitch meter reaches 0, he dies, I guess. And so the girls decide, it's like, oh, well, the prison's just completely gone, so we're all free. So let's go get food. Which, you know what, fair enough. It's really interesting to pair these two segments together, because the first segment is almost entirely focused on the boys, while this one was focused on the girls. And in very notable ways, too, because the first segment was like a boys' day out. And although the girls were in it, the boys took center stage, and that included, like, all the main male characters outside of, like, I guess the villain from season 1. But we don't really know what's up with him at the moment. And honestly, it wouldn't make sense for him to be in this anyway. But then you have the second segment, which is like focused on our 4 girls. And so it's like, I really like that these were put together in this way. And that was obviously very intentional. But because the second segment didn't even show like brief and garter belts and Chuck at all, I do kind of wish the first segment didn't show panty and stocking and knee socks and scanny at all. Like, there's a side to me that kind of wishes it was just the guys the entire time. But the segment's plot also did kind of revolve around them, like, taking the day off because of the girls. So I feel like the girls, to make that work, well, I guess they didn't really need to be in it. They could have still, like, expressed what was going on without them showing up. I don't know. It's not that big of a. Excuse me. Sorry about that. It's not that big of a deal. It's like a nitpick, but it's just something that I kind of wish it was just the guys. Either way, yeah, I enjoyed this episode. I enjoyed both segments, and I'm very interested to see where this continues to go. Especially now that we're kind of like forming bonds with the Angel Bros. I wonder if like we're going to see more of that begin to form as it goes along. At least off of work hours. I guess we'll have to wait and find out. It's like once I start yawning, I just can't stop. Jesus. But yeah, tell me in the comments below, what did you think of this episode of New Panty and Stocking? What did you think of each of these segments, focusing on the guys and then the girls? Let me know your thoughts down below. And for now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.